Hi everyone, welcome to Breath Yoga. My name is Nuria and today we're going to do a very dynamic practice to get our heart rate up quickly. This is going to be very efficient to help with weight loss, and also we're going to do lots of exercises for our core strength. So we're going to work both on our abdominals and weight loss at the same time. First of all, we're going to lie down on the mat. We're going to have our feet flat. We're going to keep our knees bent. We're going to close the eyes and we're going to place our right hand on our belly and the left hand on the chest. And we're going to inhale deeply through the nose and exhale deeply through the nose. I'm going to use these first breathing exercises to connect with the present moment and to bring awareness to our diaphragm. So I want you to inhale and feel how your belly expands and pushes into your hand. And then as you exhale, your belly contracts and moves away from your hand. Again, inhaling deeply through the nose, feeling the belly fill up. And then exhaling deeply through the nose, feeling the belly moving away from the hand. And the hand on the chest is going to help us make sure that there is no movement in our chest and that all the breathing is happening in the diaphragm. One last inhale. And deep exhale. And now we're going to extend our knees. We're going to extend our arms right above the head, interlacing the fingers, pushing the feet in one direction and the hands in the opposite direction, making our body super strong. Really nice stretch. And now from here, we're going to engage our abdominals and we're going to bring our knees in and we're going to come into a cosmic egg. So we're balancing on our sitting bones. We're getting that balance through activating the core, and we're bringing our thighs in. Now we're gonna open again and stretch. Really nice stretch. And now again, engage your core, bring your thighs in, give yourself a nice hug. Very nice. Just started waking up those abdominals. Now from here, we're gonna come into all fours. We're gonna first of all make sure that our wrists are right under the shoulders, that our knees are right under the hips, and we're gonna warm up the spine through a sequence of cat-cow. So we're gonna start by pushing the pelvis out, arching the spine, pushing the chest forward, looking forward and down, bending slightly the elbows, and now tucking the pelvis in, rounding the spine, looking into the belly button, really pressing in that belly button as if we want it to touch the spine. And now transitioning again into angry cat, and from there back into cow, make it with intention. And now we're going to start moving dynamically and connecting both movements together. So we're going to move a little bit more intuitively. We're going to make it our own. Finding space. Just start connecting with what feels right. We're doing this to wake up the spine. One last round. And we're going to come back to a neutral spine. Now from here, we're going to extend our right leg. We're going to make sure that those toes are pointing down towards the mat. Both hips are looking into the mat. And now with an inhale, we're going to extend our left arm. We're going to make sure that the hand is facing the side wall. We're going to be looking into the mat, making the neck super long. Our core is super active, holding all of our organs in. And our lower back is working as a tabletop. Really hold it here. Do it with intention. Make sure that everything is really active. Now from here, we're gonna start moving dynamically. We're gonna exhale and bring knee to elbow. Inhale and open. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, in open. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, open. Exhale, knee to elbow. And then open. Keep moving dynamically. You're rounding your spine as you bring your knee to elbow. And you're bringing your spine back to neutral as you open. You're engaging your abdominal as you open, and you're engaging it even more as you bring knee to elbow. One last round. And then once we're back to open, we're gonna bring first our hand down into the mat and then the knee down into the mat. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. First, we're gonna extend that left leg. Make sure that those toes are pointing down towards the mat. And now on your inhale, you're gonna extend your right arm, the palm facing to the side. You're gonna be looking into the mat. Your core is engaged. You're super strong here. Both hips are looking into the mat. The back of your neck is long. And you're breathing here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Couple more times. Really notice how when you engage your core, everything feels more stable. And now from here, we're gonna exhale, knee to elbow, inhale, open, exhale, knee to elbow, inhale, open, exhale, knee to elbow, inhale, open, exhale, knee to elbow, inhale, open. Keep moving dynamically. Don't forget to breathe. You're exhaling and bringing knee to elbow, inhaling, opening. Do it with intention. You're gonna start feeling that heat building up. Couple more times. And now next time you're back to extended arm, you're gonna bring that hand down into the mat and then the knee back down into the mat. Now here from all fours, we're gonna move slightly forward, but here from all fours, you're gonna come all the way into downward facing dog. This is our first downward facing dog. We're gonna check and make sure that everything is well aligned, that the fingers are really well spread, that the neck is nice and long, that we can say yes and no and there's no tension. We're really pushing through the hands. We're gonna bend slightly the knees and we're gonna lift those hips even higher towards the ceiling, making the spine super, super long. Now from here, we're gonna bring those heels back down into the mat. And now we're gonna start transitioning from dog to plank. So from dog, we come to plank first. Now we go back to dog. Now we're gonna lift our right leg, coming into a three-legged dog. We make sure both elbows are straight. And now we're gonna exhale and bring that knee to elbow. Now we come back to our three-legged dog. Now we bring that knee to the space between the hands. We're bringing it close into our chest. Back to three-legged dog. Now we're gonna bring the knee to the opposite elbow. Back to three-legged dog. Knee back to center. Three-legged dog. Back to right elbow. Three-legged dog. Center. Three-legged dog. opposite elbow, three-legged dog. Here we are. From here we're gonna come down to downward facing dog. If you want, you're gonna keep flowing through this. If you at any point during this practice need a break, you're gonna come all the way down to child's pose. And then you're gonna join us again whenever you feel ready, okay? So feel free to come down to child's pose whenever you need to, or just power through if you feel you have the energy today. So now from here, we're gonna do the same thing with the other leg. So we're gonna start by lifting that left leg up. And now we're gonna exhale and bring knee to elbow. Inhaling back to three-legged dog. Exhaling, knee to chest. Inhaling, three-legged dog. Exhaling, knee to opposite elbow. Inhaling up. Exhaling to chest. Inhaling up. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Inhaling up. Exhaling, knee to elbow. Up. Knee to chest. Up. Knee to elbow. Up. Knee to chest. Up. Knee to elbow. Up. Nice. Now we're gonna bring that foot down. From here, we're gonna look at the space between the hands. We're gonna bring right foot forward, left foot forward. Now we're gonna exhale and fold forward. And then we're gonna inhale and come back up to standing. From here, we're going to inhale and come straight into chair pose. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhaling, flat back. Exhaling, hands to the mat. Now right foot back, left foot back. We're coming into plank. Exhaling, not all the way, halfway down to chaturanga. Changing the toes, upward facing dog. From here, we come into downward facing dog. Now we're gonna look at the space between the hands. Right foot forward, left heel down. We're gonna inhale and bring our hands up. Coming into warrior one. Now from here, we're gonna exhale. We're gonna bring both hands down. Front foot comes to join the back foot. Exhaling back to chaturanga halfway. Inhaling upward facing dog. Tucking the toes in. Coming again into downward facing dog. Here we breathe deeply. We take the chance to catch our breath. Downward facing dog is our resting pose. So breathe here. Keep working on your spine extension. Now we're going to look at the space between the hands, and we're going to bring that right foot forward, left foot forward. We're going to exhale, fold forward, and then we're going to inhale and come back up to standing. Now we're going to get into our second sun salutation type B. Inhale, chair pose, exhaling, folding forward, inhaling, flat back, exhaling. We start with the left foot back, right foot back. Here we are on plank pose, chaturanga halfway through. Inhaling, coming into upward facing dog, exhaling, coming straight into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're going to look at the space between the hands. We're going to bring the left foot forward, right heel down. We're going to inhale and come all the way into our warrior one. Exhaling, hands down either side of the front foot back. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling, coming into upward facing dog. Exhaling, coming into downward facing dog. We're going to rest here again, catching our breath. Inhaling and exhaling. We're going to walk the dog, bending one knee and bringing the opposite heel down towards the mat. And now from here, we're going to look at the space between the hands. We're going to bring the left foot forward. Then we're going to bring the right foot forward. We're going to exhale. Inhaling and coming all the way back up to standing. I'm going to walk that left foot back It's gonna be in 45 degrees. Both hips are gonna be facing forward, and you're gonna either grab opposite elbows or you're gonna come into prayer position, reverse prayer. So just adjust it to whatever works best for you. Here we're gonna inhale and open the chest, and then we're gonna exhale and fold forward. You're gonna breathe here deeply. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Making sure if you're in reverse prayer that your palms are still connected. Checking that both hips are facing the front, that back hip is not trying to close. And now from here, we're gonna inhale, we're gonna come up. We're gonna bring our hands down into the mat. We're gonna bring that front foot back. We're gonna come into chaturanga, chaturanga into upward facing dog. From here, straight into downward facing dog. Now we're gonna look at the space between the hands. Right foot forward, left foot forward, exhaling, folding forward, inhaling and coming all the way back up to standing. Now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. I keep changing direction so that you guys can see me better, but you don't have to be changing direction when you practice. So now we're gonna take one step back with the right foot. Left foot is still parallel. We're gonna check that both hips are facing forward. You're gonna do the same thing you did on the other side with your hands. So if you went for grab of opposite elbows, you do the same. If you went for reverse prayer, you do the same. Inhaling, opening the chest. Exhaling, folding forward. We're gonna be correcting our hips. If the back hip is trying to stay behind, we're gonna push it forward. And we're gonna think of the extension of the spine. We want to keep it as long as possible. We want the neck to be a progression of the rest of the spine. And we're gonna breathe here deeply. Feeling that stretch in the hamstrings. Remember to keep your palms connected. It's very easy to forget that. Now from here, we're gonna inhale. We're gonna come all the way up. We're gonna bring those hands back into the mat. That front foot back, coming into plank, plank to chaturanga. From here, all the way into upward facing dog. And now we're going into upward facing dog. Now we look at the space between the hands, and we bring one foot to the front, the other foot to the front, exhaling, folding forward. Then we're gonna inhale, come all the way up, and then exhaling, coming into mountain pose. Now from here, starting again with the left foot, we're gonna take one big step back. That back foot is gonna be 45 degrees in. We're gonna check and make sure that both heels are aligned. And now we're gonna bend the front knee. Both hips are looking forward. We're gonna bring our hands in front of our face. We're gonna look into our hands, and we're coming into warrior one. So here, a couple of alignment cues. Make sure that your back heel is really connected to the mat, that the pinky toe of the back foot is really connected to the ground. And breathe here. Your shoulder blades are back and down. Breathing deeply. And now we're gonna open the arms. We're gonna change the hips. They're gonna move to face to the diagonal. Here we are in warrior two. We're gonna look through the fingers of the front hand. Breathing deeply. Here we are in our warrior two. Looking with determination through the fingers of that front hand. Feeling strong in our warrior two. Try to have both arms at the same height. And think about your shoulder blades. You want them to be back and down. Now from here, we're gonna leave the hands where they are. We're gonna straighten the front knee. We're gonna bring that front foot in 45 degrees. Now we're gonna open the opposite foot. Now we're gonna have to move this foot because we wanna make sure that both heels are aligned. We're gonna make sure that that back foot now is 45 degrees in. We're gonna bend the front knee, and now we're gonna stay here in our warrior two. The hips are still looking into the diagonal. We're looking through the fingers of the front hand, front knee and front ankle. The front knee is on top of the front ankle. Breathing here deeply. Standing tall and strong in your warrior two. Checking your shoulder blades, making sure that they're back and down. Now from here, we're gonna change direction of the hips, so they're both gonna be looking forward. We're gonna inhale and bring those hands up. Make sure that the pinky toe of your back foot is connected to the ground. It's gonna try to come up, but you're not gonna let it. Make sure that your front knee and your front ankle are still aligned. And here we are in warrior one. Both hips are looking forward now. We move from looking into the diagonal to looking forward. Breathing here. And now we're gonna exhale. We're gonna bring both hands either side of the front foot. We're gonna come into plank, from plank to chaturanga, then into upward facing dog, and then into downward facing dog. Now here we're gonna look at the space between the hands, and we're gonna come all the way back to sitting on the mat. We're gonna extend the legs in front of us. We're gonna have the feet flexed. We're gonna have our spine long and straight. We're gonna have our arms either side of our body. And we're gonna be looking to our toes. If sitting like this is challenging, that's completely normal. Then grab a cushion or a couple of cushions or a book or a yoga block. Place it under your sitting bones. That's gonna give you a nice lift and it's gonna be much easier. Breathing here. Make sure that those feet stay flexed and that your legs are active. You're not just resting here, you're really engaging your feet, your legs, your core. Breathing deeply. Inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. Now from here, you're gonna bring your hands back. You're gonna bring them behind your hips. And here we have a couple of options. Option number one is you're gonna bring your feet flat on the mat, and then you're gonna push your hips up, coming into a reverse table position. Option number two is you're gonna keep your legs extended, and then you're gonna push your hips up. Really pushing your hips up towards the ceiling, pushing your chest up, opening the front of your body, and really relying on your abdominals to hold all of your torso up. Breathing here, inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Now we exhale, we come down, we cross our legs, we bring the hands forward, we bring the legs back, exhaling halfway to chaturanga, inhaling, coming up into upward facing dog, exhaling, coming back into downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna look at the space between the hands. Now we're gonna bring those knees back down, and from here, we're gonna bring our feet flat on the mat with the knees bent, and we're gonna come into boat pose. So keep working on those abdominals. So option number one is we're gonna bring those shins parallel to the mat, and we're gonna be holding the back of the thighs. Option number two is the hands are either side of the knees. Option number three is the knees are straight, we're balancing on the sitting bones, looking into the toes, chest is open, And here we are. Don't forget to breathe. Work with the option that works best for you. They're all amazing options. Now from here, we bring the feet down, pushing the sitting bones up and coming back up to whatever option you were working in. Remember, chest up, abdominals engage, your neck is long. Exhaling, coming down, pushing up again. We're gonna come up. We come down, push ourselves up again. A couple more times. Remember, core super engaged, chest open. We come down, pushing up again. Again up there. Coming back down, pushing ourselves up. This is the last time. There we go. Now we're done. We're gonna bring our feet back. We're gonna bring our hands to the front. Remember, if at any point you need a rest, you can come into child's pose. I'm just giving you the options that are gonna make you work harder, but you can always slow it down. From here, we're gonna come into our downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're gonna come forward into plank, back into downward facing dog, back into plank, back into downward facing dog, back into plank, downward facing dog, plank, downward facing dog. Now, from here, we're gonna place the left hand kind of like right under where our face would be. And from here, we're gonna move the direction of the feet. So option number one is we're gonna have that right leg in front, and we're coming into side plank. If you want to work harder, you're gonna have both feet staggered, one on top of the other. Here we are in our side plank, holding it here. If this feels too much or it doesn't work for your wrist, you can come and rest on your forearm. So I'm going to show you that option. That would be here, on your forearm and up. So this is another option. This is a much safer option for your wrist if you feel like your wrist is not in a good place. So either of those two options, breathing here, staying engaged. I hope you guys are sweating. I definitely am. And from here, we're gonna come back into plank. We're gonna go back to rest for a second in downward facing dog. Remember, you can come into child's pose if you want for a deeper rest. And now again, we're gonna bring that right hand to the space that would be under our face, so slightly further in. We're gonna change the feet and open to the side. Remember, an even more intense option is both feet staggered, or if this doesn't feel safe for your wrist, you're gonna come all the way down into your forearm. Now from here, you're gonna bring, again, your hand down. You're gonna come into plank. From plank, you're gonna come into downward facing dog. And now from downward facing dog, again into plank, chaturanga. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. From here, we're gonna come to lie on the mat. And we're gonna do a bit of work on our lower back. So our feet are together. The palms are gonna be facing down. And now from here, we're gonna start with the legs. So we're gonna engage the glutes and bring the feet away from the mat. And then from here, don't worry if your legs become a bit apart from each other. You're gonna inhale and you're gonna peel your chest off the mat. Breathing here. And exhaling, coming down. 3 breaths. We're going to bring the forehead back into the mat, and we're going to do the same thing again. First, engaging the glutes, bringing the legs away from the mat, and now pushing into the hands, inhaling and peeling the chest away from the mat. You're looking forward and down. Exhaling, we're going to rest on the opposite side of the face. And one last time up. So again, bringing those feet away from the mat, and now peeling the chest off the mat. And exhaling and resting down. From here, we're gonna push ourselves up, coming into all fours, back into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we're gonna come into plank. From plank into chaturanga, chaturanga, straight into upward facing dog. And from here, back down into downward facing dog. We're gonna, on the knees, come into the mat. We're gonna extend the legs. We're gonna bring our body onto the mat. We're gonna bring the sole of the feet flat. And now we're gonna shift our hips slightly to the left. We're gonna drop the knees towards the right. We're gonna place the arms in a cactus shape. And if you want a deeper stretch, you're gonna place your right foot on top of your left knee, and you're gonna look over your left shoulder. Breathing deeply, calming down, releasing our spine. Make sure that both shoulder blades are connected to the mat. And now we're gonna inhale, bring both feet back on the mat. And we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna shift first the hips, this time towards the right. We're gonna drop the knees towards the left. We're gonna look over the right shoulder. And if you want a deeper stretch, you're gonna bring your left foot on top of your right knee. Breathing here deeply. Make sure that both shoulder blades are on the mat, that your neck is relaxed. Close your eyes. And now from here, you're gonna inhale, you're gonna bring both feet back flat on the mat. You're gonna straighten your back. You're gonna lengthen your legs. You're gonna bring your arms alongside the body with the palms facing up. You're gonna close the eyes, and we're gonna enjoy this final relaxation. There's nothing for you to do. You don't even have to worry about your breathing. Just be here in the present moment. And as you inhale, take everything you want. And as you exhale, let go of everything that you don't want. You can stay here for as long as you want. You can just continue resting, and then just come out when you have enough. If you're ready now, you're gonna bring your hands under your face, making a little pillow while you roll to the side. And now you're gonna push yourself up, keeping the eyes closed. You're gonna come to sitting cross-legged. You're gonna place your palms on top of your knees. Inhale, 1, 2. Exhale, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep breathing deeply, inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And now slowly we're going to open the eyes. Hopefully you got to sweat a bit and you reconnected with your core strength. If you enjoyed the practice, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more happy, healthy yoga for all. If you have any suggestion of any video you would like me to create, just leave me a comment below. Thank you very much.